Hi, I'm Anna Yosin. This is Hol-Sol Living. Today I'll be going over the yoga pose Balasana, the bird dog. With this one, it starts in a tabletop position. The prerequisite I would say for this is to make sure that your wrists are nice and warm before going into this. You're gonna have your hands directly under your arms, and if your wrists aren't warm, sometimes that can put a lot of pressure on your wrists. I've made a whole video on warming up the wrists, so if you need that, go back and watch that one, find that one, warm up your wrists, and then come back to this. So starting with the tabletop position, think of it as a perfect 90-degree angle with the arms or the legs of the table and the top of it. So I want to bring my hands directly underneath my shoulders. So my hands are not really far out here. They're not really far in front or back. They're literally right under my shoulders. So I'm stacking my wrists, my elbows, and my shoulders. And I want to spread my fingers out as wide as they'll go. Press into the fingertips, press into the knuckles, and especially press into that part between the pointer and the thumb. From there, I'm going to rotate my shoulders externally so that the eye of the elbow comes forward. This is going to help you stay in that stacked joint position. If we bend the elbows a lot, it puts a lot of pressure here, and then look what happens to my shoulders. My shoulders want to come up. So we want to really press firmly into the floor. If you don't have the anatomy to where your eye of the elbow comes perfectly forward, that's okay. You can turn out just slightly, but not all the way here, right? So we still want those fingertips at least mostly pointed forward, and just watch for the internal rotation of the shoulder. We want to externally rotate the shoulders so the eye of the elbow comes forward. From there, we want to make sure that the back is totally straight. So we're not arched here, we're not round here, we're just in a straight line. My knees are directly under my hips, so I've got this perfect like square table position. Reaching with the crown of the head, think of like a merry-go-round, how the horse is like on a stick. Basically, you're doing that, but you're horizontal. So you want that line to go directly from the top of your head through your body and then out through your tailbone. So think about that. You want to also think about pulling in the abdominal, so in and up on the belly button, and the pelvic floor from here. So that is the beginning of this. I'm going to start with my left hand. So again, I'm pushing the floor away with my hands, full activation into the fingertips, the knuckles, and the palm. The eye of the elbow is forward, and I'm reaching my left hand forward, but I'm not moving my torso at all, right? So if I move this here, there should not be any movement at all. So if you're kind of like moving here, try to minimize that. That's your goal here. So left hand will come forward. I'm really pressing with the right. Now I'm going to do the opposite foot. So this one, extra challenge, try not to move the torso at all as I bring my right foot back. Now I want a straight line from my fingertips all the way through my body, through the bottom of that foot. You can point the toe, you can flex it. It doesn't really matter that much here. What's most important is that we don't have that hip coming up. That's going to throw you off balance. So make sure that hip is square towards the floor. Belly button in and up, pelvic floor in and up, reaching with the fingertips, reaching with that back foot, drawing the navel in, activating the transverse abdominis, and then replacing your hand and your knee. Okay, so then you try both sides. One side's going to be harder, one side's going to be easier. The most important thing is to keep this stable through the torso. You want to try to isolate that so it doesn't move at all. Think about your ribs pulling in towards your hips, at the same time pulling that belly button in and up, and you're using a thoracic breath, not a belly breath for this. And if you need to know what that is, I've made a whole video on that as well. So that is the bird dog, Balasana. From there, another variation that can challenge it, once I've gotten into this bird dog situation, I can then reach back for my ankle, okay? Now, really important not to go into a full arch here. That's not what we're doing, not just yet. Okay, so this is where it gets really important to make sure your hand is right under your shoulder, your knee is right under your hip, because if it's not directly under, that base becomes weaker and then you're gonna be much more wobbly, and we wanna really keep that core nice and strong. So again, big inhale, reach the hand and the foot up, and then I can reach back for the foot, and then push the hand and the foot against each other as I bring that leg up. Okay, so then I go back and back down. So any of these variations, that's one variation. Another one is to bring the elbow to the knee. Another one is to bring the hip out to the foot out to the side. So I'll show you that really quick too. So big inhale, reach, my torso is stable. Exhale, elbow to knee. This one I can round. So think about pushing the floor away, big cat back round, engaging the abs, still belly button in. And then inhale, straighten out. We're not arching, we're just keeping it straight. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, straight. Notice my torso is minimal movement, and then do it on the other side as well. So replace the hand directly under the shoulder, the knee under the hip. Finding this side, inhale, reach back and grab that foot. Little wobbly here, but that's okay. Once you've got that, it's almost like a bow with the leg. Inhale, reach. I'm a little off balance here, so I'm going to straighten that out. Exhale, bring the elbow to the knee. And then inhale, lengthen there. Another variation is bringing that hip out to the side. And then you could go back and forth. I mean, there's a ton of things you can do from tabletop, but that's your base for all of these things is the tabletop. Yeah, so if you have any questions about that, anything to add on to that, or any other things that might be helpful, go ahead and add that in the comments below. As always, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you a wonderful, beautiful day. From my heart to yours, namaste.